Hi everyone, just a quick update on the new function, new platform that we have going on. So we got in at the highest level, and when we got in, they finally got around to starting the build. It took them a while to get going, and about 4 days ago, they finally kicked in with placeholder build that they then started filling in and finally got around to asking me questions for so we can get everything going on. I understand what makes builds complex now, and so we, like I say, came up in the queue finally about 4 days ago. Didn't realize it would take them that long, but they said they're just busy and I'll figure it out later, and I see it now. So there are so many things you can do and could do. That's what's going on. This is not a cookie cutter operation as far as what every different client wants at this level of the game. How do we want to integrate stuff? Conferencing, calendar, automation, analytics, different things. Any of these things can be automated, and just depending on the situation. And so, of course, we want to go simple and slow and easy and so on, and just get a basic funnel into place for if people are ready to choose a package, choose from the list. If they'd like to schedule a call. But then stuff like reminders you set up about the upcoming call and stuff like that, and integrating, integrating functions for getting them going. And is it better to use Zoom or what? There are thousands and thousands of connections you can make and flows to put together everything you're looking for in these elements. And so the real question is, how to get all the pieces in place that I want. So having said that, we're covering ground. They said it'll be about 2 weeks before they have it all done, but they're finally asking me for the right API keys for the different plugins so we can get all the stuff going for what we need and be able to do this thing right. So anyway, it'll be about 2 weeks or so from now, which is getting me to roll my eyes, minus about 4 days. So aside from the fact that we have 4th of July, and then everyone took, 4th of July off and Friday off and the weekend off. So they got it going, got a couple of days into it. And then, of course, 4th of July weekend. Then they'll be back on it next week. Now, having said that, just so you guys know, from Sunday to next Sunday, I'm pretty much out of the picture. We've got a housewarming party with a lady who moved to Michigan recently, and it's my wife's birthday coming up this coming next week. Hooray! Happy birthday, baby. And we're going to be gone to see that friend and kind of go through the old neighborhood we were in back there. So, for instance, for those who don't know, my wife and I settled in Grand Haven, Michigan, which is why my phone number, for those of you who notice, is a 616 area code. So for the first time since we left the area in about 2007, when we moved down to Elkhart, Indiana for a couple of years, and then in 2009 moved out here to Seattle. So anyway, we're going to be back and be able to see all the spots, point at all the tree trunks where the kids hit the trunk with their bike wheel and fell off the bike and cried. All the little stuff of the kids being young, just having fun going up and down that area. So Grand Haven, Michigan, I'll be in next week, and then I'll be back. So I've got some contact with the people I've been setting up. I realize already that as they make these builds, we can hire the people who are extremely good at all the software and be able to put this stuff together. And I realized if I get cold callers from different industries to help me write and babysit scripts for a cut of their own, they get a basic, bonus for each thing they do right, and the bonus will pay them well. No problem, one-offs, but at the same time, that helps us in a big way. So by making sure that they get a bonus big enough to care about on top of basic pay for getting them going, then I can have true professionals in different industries for these different scripts. The guys who know all the things I wouldn't know to think about when building into a script, and even things where the guys who do this work, as professional as they are, we are aiming to do more and more industries and expand outward and so on. And you guys know that. And cover all the positions all of you ever got, back in time. So we will be moving people around, positions around, however it is we feel like doing it, based on your dollars that you've invested and our demands as we come across them. I had somebody say, how many sites are you going to build in San Francisco for DUI? And the answer is as many as it takes. Depends on the exact demand we get. If 8 people respond positively, that's one thing. If 12 people respond, that's more. So if 8 respond, we build a certain number of websites. If 12 respond, we're going to build like another 50% of websites on top of that, right? To keep up with demand and aim for spillover so that we can start also selling leads to new guys and bringing them into the fold. But as long as we keep it measured and balanced, we want to make sure to get enough leads to the guys who are buying them. And only after we hit a point of spillover, that is where the leads, where the companies who are buying the leads cannot buy leads as fast as we can produce them. Then, of course, that spillover that comes later in the month, each month as the guys are satisfied that we already have, then the spillover can be sold to new guys to get new guys into the fold. So yeah, this is kind of like us right now. I've been kind of stuck in the holding pattern, pacing and twiddling my thumbs and just thinking, come on, go. The way most of you guys are when you invest in me and you're like, come on, Dave, move it. You're right, and it's tough. I'm like, I'm working as fast as I can, but this world is weird with GPT and all growing so fast. Well, yeah, fine. But now we're here, and so now I'm the one doing it. I'm just kind of like pacing around and rubbing my hands and twiddling my thumbs, going, come on, guys, get the stuff up and going so we can take off with it. Come on. But like I said, I'm putting together a team based on what I see unfolding and how we set these things up. And so we're going to be flying sky high. In case it feels like it's taking a long time to get started, which is how I feel. I know what you guys go through. I've gone through this before, just waiting for programmers. But now I'm just going through it, waiting for other programming crews to get to my job, do mine, right? And then get through it so that we have what we need in front of us. Totally finished, absolutely awesome builds so that we can just clone them for different industries and build different builds based on emulating, adapt, and borrow the best from these builds to make new builds and keep extrapolating from there. Our biggest advantage is business to business. And if we make deals and we capture the call data and then we're filtering through it to see how people are reacting, if we're getting a bunch of people going, well, it's kind of too expensive for us, otherwise we'd get in, then for that layer of people who are saying that, we can use a different phone number, a different AI agent voice, and call back through those companies, specifically with a different deal. So there are a lot of ways to work our way from the top down smartly, fill in all the blocks smartly. And for the guys who are paying less, it just means they get fewer leads. We're offering them fewer leads to kick it off. And we're offering a easier program to kick it off. Pay a certain amount to be in on it, and that way you're in on it, but you'll get the leads after the other guys are satisfied, blah, blah, blah. There's always an advantage to upscaling. Anyway, we will absolutely take over this thing real quick. Just as we dial in our first calls, we, put out 20 calls, watch and see how they went, listen to them, check them out, think about how to improve upon the script, then do another 20 calls. But at the same time we're doing that in one time zone, we can do that in another time zone and another time zone. So we can go 20, 40, 60 calls at a time, that kind of thing, right? So we can move real fast with listening to the first calls almost in real time, making adjustments for the next round, making adjustments for the next round, that kind of thing. And at the same time that we're doing that, we can expand across industries as we see fit. So I want to, all the eggs in one basket, do one, then all the eggs in the next basket, do that, and just have a simple cutoff. If it's like there's something weird about that we didn't know how to think about, we'll come back to it. Let's jump to the next industry, do that first. Come back and hire a consultant who can, just pay somebody a one-off, who can kind of listen to our process and tell us what we're doing wrong, help us with it, and then that way they can be in on the early bird special deals if they want to do that. Whatever. There's a lot of ways to pull it off. So, yeah, we'll probably get right around July 15, 18, something right up in there. We'll probably be making our first calls. Okay? So it's still a little ways off. So, if you're pacing and going nuts, take a breath, do some meditation. Hop on a bike, do something healthy for yourself. it feels like it's far off, but it's not. It's almost right around the corner, right? And what's cool is we have so much time before the end of the year. I love that. And so we're going to be able to just scale this thing out and go broadly across the industries. I remember reactions from like garage door repair and replacement. Those guys were fast to hop on. Dentists were fast to hop on. There are different industries that are like that, you know. So, yeah, it'll be fun scaling out and pushing up and just canvassing. You know, everything we get going great, hit every next county with it. 200 counties that are sizable enough to bother with because they're definitely profitable, and all the industries that apply, you know, which is like 80 that we're going to grow into. Okay, having said all that, we are on a most definite roll. You guys did it. You guys came in, you pushed it, you hit the numbers that were necessary for us to come into this thing at a very, very high, serious level. And from here, it's really just us doing the work. Come around the 15th or the 18th or so when we sit down with our crew with the finished build to go, okay, you guys ready to babysit? You guys good to go? You guys pop the numbers that we're going to call first? We got our first counties. We got our first numbers of the first stacks of lawyers we're going to call. All right, it's the right time in the morning. Let's go and let's start listening to how those calls are coming out. And it's just going to be days, you know, of going over this stuff with some cold callers that understand what they're hearing and understand how to tweak for performance. And I want cold callers that worked the industry, right? Each new industry we go into, I want cold callers that have absolute experience in each of those industries. And as far as setting up pre-qual, yeah, that cold caller or another guy is going to be able to help us build that out easily. But we can even do that just on feedback from what people say they need when they're talking in the first place. We'll collect that data from them, mark that down in our call notes, and after several calls, we'll have a very solid group of notes over what they definitely want for pre-quals. We'll ask them leading questions. Do you guys want to handle minors? You know, and see what they say. Or yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of the calls coming in are minors, and they pay 3 times as well, 3 times as fast because the parents really care. It was like, okay. I mean, all these things, whatever the cold callers know, they know already. Whatever people are telling us, we're going to add that in. And we're just going to make this stuff awesome and be able to provide great leads that our clients can either click on or swipe away case by case. So we're going to be able to just fill in everything everyone wants. I'm really excited. I really am. This is an incredible summer, and it's going to turn into an incredible Christmas for sure, because we have so much time on our side. Okay, you guys take care. Just wanted to give you an update. I'm going to be pretty much out of touch for the next week because, like I said, we're pretty much traveling, seeing old friends, celebrating my wife's birthday back in Michigan. First time that we've been there since, like 2007, really. That's quite a while. And then we'll come back all refreshed and ready to start just slamming into it. Okay? So, you guys take care, and thanks so much for pushing to get us here because this is a big deal. We've always had the greatest system out there. It's just a matter of getting enough people to hear what's going on and be able to pool the actions. So we're doing it now. We figured out EEAT and backlinks to start driving traffic like mad. So we just need to figure out who wants to buy leads so that we can start selling them. And this whole system of automating the calls out and the incoming calls for support and the pre-quals just fell in our lap. So, all right, I'm excited and wanted to give you guys that update. I'll catch up with you before long. And thanks a ton for helping us get so far that we can go everywhere we've always wanted all this time and start getting you guys paid for all those positions. All right, take care.